Hello folks, welcome to another video here in the Microsoft Sim. This will be a first impression style look at the aircraft on your screen. Yes, it is a genuine Piper J3 Cub, recently released onto the marketplace by the developer known as BT Studio. And on sale, well, it's not really on sale. There's no discount, is what I mean. $14.95 Aussie dollars. So I'm guessing that's about $10 US, something like that. And you guys do the sums for other conversions. So you know it's at the lower end of the price range for aircraft. It's a very simple aeroplane. I mean, it should be said. There's nothing fancy here. In the real thing, the J3 is a lovely, simple aeroplane that does the job pretty bloody well. So, first impression style, folks. For me, it's not a detailed review. You're going to get... I have never flown this aeroplane before in this sim. I have flown J3s in just about every sim that I can remember ever firing up over the years. And, of course, I guess the definitive J3 is the one by A2A. It was that they did over there in FSX and prepared, the one that featured my good friend Heidi Licious up the front. That was, yeah, for me, the signature J3. This is not of that quality, folks. Just looking at it right now, reading what I have in terms of the developer's pitch, this is nowhere near A2A quality. So just bear that in mind. $14.95 Australian, $10 US, folks. You shouldn't expect, don't set the bar too high, is what I'm saying here. But look, hopefully it's a decent J3, because it's one of my favourite aeroplanes. If the gods, whatever celestial being you happen to believe in or not believe in, if the universe, let's put it that way, was to grant me a wish of any aeroplane, chances are I'd pick the J3. That's how much I love these little things. So, first impressions of the externals, the texturing and stuff like that. Can I be frank and say, look, it looks like a J3, right? That's a J3. I'm not going to argue about the minutiae. Have they got the dimensions exactly right? I don't know, and nor do I particularly care. But what I will say is that it looks a little bit too clean. It looks almost plastic-like. It looks like a toy. It looks like a model. That's how I describe it. It's too bloody perfect. And I'm sure there are some really good examples out there of J3s that are well maintained. But it's a very old aeroplane, right? The real thing. And I don't think you're going to find anything that's quite this clean. I'm not sure what's going on here with you see where I've got the call sign there under the wing. You sort of get that flickering. I'm not sure. Is that to do with my settings? I don't know. I can't imagine a developer knowing that happens and releasing it. It's a little bit weird. But yeah, look, it looks like a J3. It just looks a little bit too new. Have a look at the tyres. I mean, they don't look... That looks plastic to me. That's the way I describe it. It just looks too shiny. It looks too new. As I take a sip of the bevy. But yeah, look, the rest of it, as I've said, it looks like a J3. It's got the logo on the tail. Yeah. Zoom out, have a look from there. That's my first impressions, folks. It just a little bit too clean. You only get one livery too in this aircraft. Perhaps there will be livery creators that get to work on it and produce some other liveries. But I mean, the classic yellow and black J3 livery, that'll do us for now. You don't get any variance in terms of skis and floats and all that sort of stuff either. Okay, so it's a pretty bare sort of package, but again, priced pretty cheaply. Right, jump inside for you. Here's the view. Now, I've actually modified, as I do with every aircraft, I've modified the views to make it look better to me, or look more realistic. If you don't modify the view, this is the default view that comes with the aircraft. Now, one thing you'll notice is that it makes you feel like you're sitting way back. Now, you do sit in the rear seat when you fly a J3, especially when you fly it solo for CG reasons. But you can still read the instruments. The default view here, good luck. I mean, my eyesight, admittedly, is not great. But it just feels like you're too far back. I mean, you get a pretty good visibility down the side of the aircraft. I get it. But what I've done is modify it, essentially zoom it in, and it gives me that. So I can actually read the instruments. Yeah, I lose a bit of the peripheral vision. In fact, I lose a lot of peripheral vision. That's a very challenging word to say at this time of the day too, folks. I'll say it one more time. Peripheral. To impress myself. But, yeah. So my custom view, this one here, you lose a lot of that down the side. But what I've done, and I used to do this, particularly on when you're landing this beast, you sort of have a view that's sort of down the side. You look out the side a little bit, particularly when you've got a passenger sitting here. Your forward visibility is absolutely atrocious. And a bit of visibility down the side kind of helps when you're landing, and I've got another one down the other side. So basically 3 views. This is the sort of center view, left hand side, right hand side. Right. So texturing inside the aircraft is very similar story to outside. It's just it's so clean, and it looks like plastic. That's what I would say. It's not... Look, I'm not trying to be critical here. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. Other people might be perfectly okay with it. When you've got a benchmark like the A2A Cub, it is a little difficult to review a release like this without sounding critical. Okay? But yeah, that's the texturing inside. Very simple aircraft. Stick, pedals, throttle, fuel, trim. There's a switches are up here. Does the door open? I wonder if the door opens. Oh, it does. Okay, that's nice. So you can fly the J3, the real thing, with the door open if you choose. I used to do that quite a lot. Whether that changes the sound, in this version, I don't know. But, yeah. So in terms of starting this thing up, I'm going to take the easy way out, folks, and just do Control-E, which gives you that. Away we go. Alright, go outside for you. You can have a listen. Engine sounds from outside. Now, you don't have to go and get your eyes checked, folks. You're not seeing double. Well, you are. Despite only choosing the pilot in the setup of the flight, the external view actually shows me 2 guys. It shows me twice. When too much old fella is barely enough, you get 2 of me. They animate differently, so it actually looks like they're 2 different people, but they're the same. They're the same avatar. A little bit of the shake, a little bit of the vibration, is it? Just zoom in there, you can see that. Just subtle. There you go. Jump back inside. Now we're at a place called Purkshof. It's in Germany. Why Purkshof, Germany? Well, I discovered that I have quite a number of viewers and subscribers that hail from Germany. It's actually the 3rd most popular location for subscribers to this channel, after the United States and the United Kingdom. So a shout out to all of my German friends, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to go flying in Germany. It's a custom freeware rendition of this location called Purkshof. I hope I said that correctly. The ICAO code is Echo Delta Charlie X-Ray, and there'll be a link to that in the description. along with a link to this aircraft. So folks, quite a long introduction there. How about we go flying, see how this thing actually flies. Alright, taxiing out to a runway to be determined, folks. The side views kind of help. Sort of the gentle S-turns to taxi and to stay between the lines. Often does help. I kind of would like to see a passenger modelled here in the VC. Just mentioning that in case the developer happens to be listening. Looks like a runway down here, does it? I think so. What is that? Does that say 27? I think so. Congrats to the developer of this airport. It looks pretty bloody good. I like it. Righto. So back to that view. Now, so we shut the door. We'll see if we can open that in flight. Is that? Yeah, that brings it back up. No problemos. All right. Now, there's not too much to worry about. I'm going to assume that the trim looks pretty good. Does the trim work? Do I see the trim? Hang on. Can I get down there? Is that modelled? It is. It's heavily nose down trim, according to that. And this is full. So this is full up trim, which is there. There even. And this. So if you neutralise the trim, I'll put it about here. Wait a minute, that almost looks like, hang on a second, that's in the opposite direction. So I've got my nose down trim here, but it's actually moving it up. So that's arse about, at least according to my controller settings. I'm going to sort of put the trim about there. There's the throttle, fuel's on, not too much to worry about, local baro, compass, airspeed indicator, T's and P's, primer over there we don't need to worry about, rear seat for solo flying, thanks for the reminder. We just happen to be in the rear seat. So, we might look down the left hand side, introduce some fuel, away we go, a little bit of back stick, power coming in now, slowly but surely, look down the right hand side, look down the left hand side, nose drops down through about 40, and we can probably get airborne around about here. Here we go, and away we go. We are safely away. No flaps to worry about in the J3. An interesting looking building down here on the left hand side. Do a low level flyby of that one. Bring the throttle back a bit. That's a very interesting. What's that? Water slides or something? Is that what it is? Frühstück. Sorry to my German friends. I'm going to mispronounce just about every German word that I attempt in this video. That's kind of how it works. But there must be enough of you that are forgiving, because there's quite a few viewers, German viewers, on the channel. I was quite surprised about that. And thank you very much for that support. Here we go, folks. The J3, she flies kind of like J3s in other sims. So far, from what I can tell, it's pretty docile. Not exactly a rocket ship. We open this door and window in flight. I didn't notice a sound change there at all, and you would expect it. There'd be a fair bit of air rushing in there. So I don't think that's modelled. How good's the view though, hey? How good's the view? A couple of 100 feet above the deck. Germany. J3 Cub, beautiful day. I'll take that. Should we go outside? Let you have a look at it outside? We shall. There we go. The twins. left-hand turn. We won't stray too far from the airfield here, folks. Won't be a long video. Well, that was quite a long introduction. My apologies for those that like to get into the flying quickly. I just thought, you know, I just go with where the universe tells me to go when I fire up the recorder, folks. And first impressions style videos can sometimes go places that I didn't necessarily expect. I like to try and focus on the flying part, because that for me is the most important. But I don't know. What am I trying to say? Not much of substance anyway. Not much of substance. A beautiful part of the world. Take a different view, out to the left hand side, now out to the right hand side. It's early afternoon here, local time. That would be our strip. I'll slip it in here a little bit. Alright, take a view down the side, go into idle, try and make it a 3-pointer if we can. Speed bleeding off now, bit more speed to bleed, bit more speed to bleed, holding us off, and touchdown. There we go, not too bad. Haven't flown a J3 in a while, I'll take that one. Not quite a 3-pointer, but not too far from it. Folks, first impressions of the BT Studio J3 Cub. Look, in terms of flying, it feels like a J3, close enough to it. Can't really complain too much about that side of things anyway. Texturing wise, well, you sort of heard what I thought of it. Looks a little bit too fresh for my liking. I'd like a little bit more character in the texturing, but look, it's $10. If you're in the market for a J3, if you're a J3 lover like I am, you know, it's available. I don't know, is that a positive first impression? I don't know. It feels like a bit of a mixed bag. I don't hate it, and I like having a J3, and it flies okay. I'll give them that. So you can be the judge of whether it's been a positive review or not, folks. Thanks as always for your company, and we will see you in the next video.